everybody, welcome to another episode of Water is the New Gold. I want to talk to you today about water filter certifications. As my title indicates, I've called this 3 shocking truths about water filter certifications that may be misleading, or something to that effect. And you know, when we go to buy a water filter in the store, we exercise the most due diligence. We want to buy the product that's best for our family, that's safest. And we pick these products up, and there's a whole litany of certifications and claims what the filter does and doesn't do. And it's natural for us to think that when we see a water filter, when we buy one with a lot of certifications, we take that home thinking that this is a good filter, the water is safe, and we feel comfortable with our purchase. Now, I'm not saying that filters are dangerous or not dangerous, but what I am saying is that the certification process is designed to make us feel comfortable, and we certainly, like it or not, can buy a well-heeled, well-certified filter that's not that good. And the first truth that everybody should know about these certifications is that they are paid for. These are not, government stamps of approval that everybody has to go through, like an FDA approval or anything like that. The certification company is an independent, for-profit organization that charges the filter manufacturer to put a certification on that box. Now, you can read into that whatever you want to read into it, but from my perspective, that kind of jades the certification and takes some of the edge off of how important that is when somebody's paying for it. The second fact that everybody should know about water filter certifications is that the certification entity only puts on the filter what the manufacturer claims. So, for instance, a filter could be very terrible at removing some hazardous material, but the filter manufacturer elects not to talk about that in his certification, and he only picks on 1 or 2 things that the filter does very well and ignores all the other stuff. So now you buy that filter and it says, wow, look at this. It cleans water, it takes the odor out, it takes color out, it takes bacteria out, and it takes algae out. This is great. But the part that you don't know is that it doesn't take lead out. It doesn't take, who knows, a bunch of contaminants. And not only that it doesn't take it out, that filter could very well leach those contaminants, but because the manufacturer didn't ask the certification body to look at that and report on it, it's never seen. The final fact about water filter certification that to me is the most important is that there is no certification and there is no filter that guarantees safe drinking water. Now, to me, that's a big thing, because we buy a filter, we go home, we think the water's safe. And in fact, there's a class action suit for a filter company that shall remain nameless, but people bought this filter, they drank from it, and they got sick, they got ill. And the company that made the filter is arguing that, hey, we didn't make any false claims. We didn't claim that our filter wouldn't remove this particular substance. We only said that it would do A, B, and C. Is that misleading? I think it's very misleading. And the certification only applies, again, to what the manufacturer tells the certification board. So if I want to, let's say I have a filter and it only takes out 10% of lead, right? I could have my filter certified by these bodies, and they'll put their stamp on it that they tested it to remove 10% of lead. Now, they may on the label sneak away from that and just say certified to remove lead and leave it to the fine print that you find out later, well, heck, they were only certifying it to mean 10% of lead. And I bought a dangerous filter, but boy, it had certifications. So the takeaway here is that when we go to the store, we buy a filter, we read these certifications, and we think to ourselves, boy, I feel comfortable buying this filter. It's a good filter. I'm going to go home. The water's safe, and it's a good product. But the reality is those certifications don't really tell us if we bought a good filter or we bought a bad filter. So in all this confusion, I hope that my channel helps you choose the right filter, learn more about filters, learn more about contaminants. And I invite you to tune in to my website at www.wateristheNewGold.com. And of course, you're on my YouTube channel. I hope you'll subscribe. As always, I'm happy to hear emails and questions and talk about water, because that's what I do.